Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 59 of Dual Destinies. Last time, we were getting to the bottom of Clay's murder, and we were about ready to cross-examine Candace Arms, but then the whole courtroom bombing incident occurred, Apollo got swept up in the blast, the events of Turnabout Countdown happened, and now we're basically picking up Solomon's case where it left off. So anyways, let's go. That's right! He's a super famous astronaut who works at the Cosmos Space Center. He was actually up in outer space 7 years ago. You seem to know quite a bit about him. Now I'm all excited to meet the man. Wow, that was the longest sigh I've ever heard. Apollo told me all about you. He said that you're a bad man and a disappointment to everyone in your field. You're Phoenix Wright, Apollo's mentor, right? Yes, that's right. Mentor has a nice ring to it. Don't worry about a thing, Mr. Starbuck. Mr. Wright and I have got you covered. And you're the new kid that Apollo told me about. Wait, don't I know you from somewhere? Huh? You mean other than at your trial? I don't think so. I guess so. My mistake. My memory isn't what it used to be. My mind and body are kaput. Same goes for my life. I mean, I'm so astronomically unlucky that I had a bomb go off in the middle of my trial. Not to mention, I know Apollo. Trying to defend me would be like trying to enter the stratosphere without a spacecraft. Yikes, he's seriously gotta stop depressing himself. Sure, Mr. Starbuck, besides, that thing you said about entering the stratosphere, that just means we'd shine like shooting stars, right? Like shooting stars, huh? You know, you're right. Why didn't I think of that? After all, that's what we were all put on this earth to do, right? To shine like stars. Guess I shouldn't mention the fact that shooting stars burn out in a flash. Oh yeah, here we go! 3, 2, 1... To the stratosphere and beyond! Yeah, I feel light now. You can go ahead and ask me anything you want. And CzarThwomp can actually remember to turn on the timer. Is that really all it takes? So, what do you think about this? The evidence is gonna get me convicted. No, it's my attorney's badge. I was hoping it would reassure you that we're here to defend you. Evidence isn't just for the prosecution. It can also prove a person's innocence, too. That's a positive spin on things. I thought that was common knowledge. Here's a bloody knife. Clay carried me out and saved me. But after all that, to be killed with this blade. And the fact that the killer might be me. Now he's got you signed, boss. So you have no memory of at all about the incident. I'm so ashamed. My memory of the time is as black and clouded as a dark nebula. Still, it's strange you don't remember a thing. Are you sure you didn't take one of those anti-anxiety pills like they said at the trial? You get it all wrong. I told him during the investigation too. I don't know anything about any drugs. I never took any medication, I swear. It is true I developed a fear of space because of what happened 7 years ago. And I was taking medication secretly every now and then when my anxiety got bad. Having a fear of space is not something an astronaut can brag about, you know. Oh, the so-called Hot One miracle. That must have been a terrifying experience. But I'm still an astronaut at heart. Come with me. I would never take drugs that might impede my performance just before a launch. That launch meant everything to me. That's more certain than the theory of relativity. He seems like a completely different person now. This is the face of the astronaut I know. You don't know him, Phoenix. You met him just now. But the tranquilizers were found in your system. Yeah, see, that's the thing. But I don't know why. I'm done for. If you didn't take them, then maybe somebody slipped them to you. Exactly, that's what I thought. It might have been the real culprit. My medication was in my locker. Anybody could have gotten their hands on it. Maybe the real culprit also planted the detonator switch in your pocket. Yeah, that's gotta be it. I've been framed. I'll say they even managed to plant your prints on the switch before slipping it in. It's a real possibility. Do you remember anything else that might be relevant? Anything at all, no matter how small, like about the murder weapon, for example. That knife. I think it came from one of the Space Center's utility kits. Utility kits? Yeah, staff who work on machinery a lot are given these special toolkits to use. All the technicians have them, so I doubt you could prove whose knife it is. As I recall, your last trip into space was 7 years ago, right? That's right! It was a pretty rough experience. During that mission, we had all kinds of problems with the craft. You did? What kind of problems? Power failure, oxygen leakage, busted radio, cracked windows, loose control column. The heat shield came off as we were entering the atmosphere. I thought I was a goner, but I managed to make it somehow with the popsicles and ice packs from the freezer. No wonder they dubbed it the Hat One Miracle. It's a miracle you made it back. I need more popsicle sticks, damn it! This replica of Abe Lincoln's cabin can't leave us alone! Space is a boundless place. That's why it continues to capture people's imaginations. But the vastness of space shows us how insignificant we are in the scheme of things. The darkness just goes on and on forever and ever and ever without end. There was nobody else there. Nobody was gonna come save me. I was all alone. All alone, with nothing to listen to but the sound of my own breathing and heartbeat. I kept scrambling to make repairs, but I couldn't keep my hands from shaking. An experience like that would make anybody afraid to go up into space. With the experience he had, weren't you dreading this mission? What? No way! Of course not! Even now, I want to go up into space so bad I can barely stand it! I want to shake off the Earth's gravity at escape velocity and spin around weightless! But you have to admit it was pretty harrowing. Weren't you even a tiny bit afraid? I was afraid. Of course I was. Still am. But space is man's final frontier. An unknown world. The cosmic truth is out there waiting for us somewhere. The cosmic truth, huh? I guess there are people looking for the truth in every walk of life. No matter how afraid I am, I'm sure I can manage. If I give in to my fear, I'll never find the truth. As long as I don't give up, I can keep up the fight. One thing's for sure, Mr. Starbuck's passion for space is undeniably the real deal. The victim, Clay Turan. He was kind of like your protege, wasn't he? Well, it wasn't a big, exaggerated deal like Master and Apprentice or anything like that, but Clay did think of me as his mentor. The mentor and the protege. What a combination they must have been. With his encouragement, I knew I could get over my fear and go back into space. But now... Clay must have been very encouraging, huh? Yeah, it's funny really. Whenever I'd hear him shout, "You're fine!" I always got the feeling everything really was gonna be just fine. Yeah, fine. Apollo says I'm fine, and you're fine all the time too. And I always feel encouraged too whenever I hear him shout it. I just look at Apollo and I say, if someone like Apollo can wake up every day and continue on with life, then I have a chance. Yeah, Clay and Apollo were best buds. They used to come visit the Space Center a lot, ever since they were high school kids. One day, out of the blue, Clay even told me he wanted to be my protege. Those two hung around the Space Center so much, they were like a part of the staff. One time during zero-G training, I started to panic a little bit. And the two of them took turns shouting, "You're fine!" over the radio. It was a simple thing, but it was exactly what I needed to hear. So, I'm fine and you're fine were like Apollo and Clay's secret phrases, huh? I wish I could ask Apollo more about Clay and their relationship now. Speaking of Clay, how do you suppose he climbed down the ladder with you over his shoulder? Sorry, but I can't even begin to imagine. But he actually did climb down that ladder, so a way has to exist. From the freedom of space, the walls of cell. But that prosecutor said the dark night sky isn't that bad through barred windows. You're fine! Solomon saw Starbuck is fine. Everything is gonna be alright. Huh? And Athena Sykes is fine. Come on, Mr. Wright, you too. Do I really have to? Phoenix Wright is fine. I can't hear you! Phoenix Wright is fine. Oh! Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Athena, I'm not SpongeBob. We'll get you back into space, yeah, Mr. Starbuck. Believe in your own innocence and have faith in us. Apollo believes in you wholeheartedly, and that's good enough for me. I believe in you too. Thank you, both of you. I'll put my faith in you. And I vow to make it back into space. All I need first is a not guilty verdict. It sure feels nice to reassure ourselves every now and then that we're all fine. Okay, Mr. Wright. Let's get our investigation of the space center started pronto. And while we're there, we're gonna confront my childhood bully. You had a childhood bully at the space center? Yeah, she was really mean. I was doing out my first investigation with Apollo. I was kind of thinking that maybe he could help me confront her, but then I realized she would destroy Apollo. Heck, I remember back when I was a kid, she actually gave Apollo a swirly. Good idea, let's go. Okay, entrance. December 19th, Cosmos Space Center. Entrance. Wow, I was wondering what kind of place this space center would be. It almost looks like an amusement park of the future. Yeah, did you know they even let the public see the rockets up close? Oh, so check it out. Look how brightly the Gaia Exa logo shines in the sunlight above the entranceway. I really dig the stars and rocket motif it's got going. Gaiaca, huh? Isn't that the new name of the Federal Space R&D program? Yeah, but why the strange acronym? I mean, what is GIA supposed to stand for? Galaxy? If that were it, then the whole thing would be something like Galaxy Exploration Agency. Which, if you ask me, I'd have abbreviated to GAXA, or even Gaia. I guess so. Oh, I know, maybe the person who came up with the name just really likes the letter Y. This exchange is beginning to feel oddly like deja vu. Anyways, this place is more than just a research facility. It's also a tourist attraction. Tourist attraction? Don't make me laugh. This is a monument to the human race. What was that? My throat was giving out on me. Galactic scooter, full speed ahead. Run down the little girl. Yikes! Who's this geezer and what does he want? Athena, you hurt me! How do you not recognize your old friend Yuri? I was like a father to you! You would sit on my lap and I would tell you stories about how I supervise programs! I know people who went into space because of me and all me! You think Solomon was able to get up into space without me? No! If it wasn't for me, he would still be on the ground. He would be staring up at the sky. Sorry, Mr. Cosmos, but you're like that one creepy uncle that you try to avoid. Sure, I had to kind of like you, do the whole, oh, we have a history thing, but just you're that one person where if I met you in public, I just turn you away. Look upon me, and look well. Behold the great power of space science. Pardon me, but my glorious name is Yuri Cosmos. I am the director of the Cosmos Space Center, the center of the cosmos! Boss, that was pretty groan-inducing. If this person is the Space Center's director, then that means, aha! So you were the first one to discover Clay's body, weren't you? And who was the first to find the victim? Actually, there were two of them. The Space Center Director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Candace Arms. Yes, the Detective Candace Arms. We have multiple Candace Arms. That is correct. I was honored to be the very first man in all of space and time to discover the body. But this talk of the incident, are you by any chance this space police? You can't tack the word space onto any old thing, you know. We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We're here to investigate this case. Oh, and we're Earth lawyers, by the way. Ah, I see. Yes, I've heard about you. In that case, by my esteemed privilege, I grant you permission to investigate. I trust you are appropriately grateful. Now, go ahead, have at it. Oh, and by the way, Athena, are you by any chance, did you bring that man here to help you? Oh, I don't know, confront you know who? Look, I'm hoping that maybe he can do something about it. Mr. Wright is very durable. If she tries to punch him or kick him, I'm pretty sure her blows would just bounce right off. Good, because literally, Aura is starting to scare the heck out of me. I mean, she scared me ever since I first hired her onto the group. I mean, she came in on her interview day, and she was just like giving off these dark vibes. Like, I am talking just evil space kraken vibes. I had no choice but to hire her, lest she haunts me in my nightmares for all eternity. But nowadays, she's just expanding, and it's getting insane. I get scared every day. I'm thinking, oh God, am I going to open the door, and I'm just going to see her staring at me with that glare? Frankly, I would rather take her phantom brother over her. At least with him, you know where he's coming from. But Aura, oh, I can never guess what she's thinking. Heck, I even tried to commission a giant space laser to take her out. It's not done yet, but hopefully you can stop her before I have to use it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, just everyone at the space are being scared of Aura. I can already tell he's gonna be nothing but trouble. Don't let him hear you say that, or you'll see what trouble really is. Let's just be professional and ask him about when he found the body, okay? Excuse me, but about this piece of evidence, let me ask you a question. What will that object contribute to the future of mankind? What? Not much, I guess. Then how important could it be? Quite unlike the great historical figure, Yuri Cosmos! Ha 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 ha! If he's any more self-absorbed, he'll turn to his very own black hole. So, as director, what do you do here at the Space Center specifically? Defend peace across the galaxy and promote space development in this country. No matter what obstacles stand in our way, we'll keep going for the sake of mankind. I believe I used the word specifically in my question. Attention all personnel, to your break stations, prepare for break! Oh, I get it. You just wander around and tell people what to do in a self-important manner. That is exactly right, because I am an important man. My manner is important. Mr. Wright, this man doesn't get sarcasm. Well, there's bound to be some people like that here in this boundlessness of space. What's that? You want to know what it is that makes me important specifically? Do you not see the mustache? Do you not see the fancy uniform with the giant star pin? Do you not see my Segway that can go from 0 to 20 in a matter of 5 seconds? Very well, I will tell you, I was the central figure of the CzarThwomp project. You may proceed to be appropriately impressed. Now, go ahead, have at it. I might be more impressed if I knew what he did for it, specifically. Could you tell us what you know about the incidents from the other day? I refuse. What? Explaining is a job for common folk, not the director of the Center of the Cosmos. My testimony, which will go down in space history, will be heard in the space courtroom. What? So does that mean you'll be taking the stand tomorrow? That is correct. I will be the most glorious witness in the history of mankind. I'm not sure if he really understands what being a witness is all about. Looks like Director Cosmos is the very type that only talks about what he wants to talk about. Then let's at least try to ask him about the things he might be willing to open up about. The Hat 1 was a rocket that was launched into space 7 years ago, correct? And despite numerous problems, it somehow made its way back home? I suppose it is part of my job to educate ignorant young folk like you. Very well, I will impart to you the complete story of the CzarThwomp project. Thank you very much. CzarThwomp's noble mission was to collect samples from an asteroid, and Mr. Starbuck was the pilot for their flight. Eventually, the CzarThwomp reached its planned orbit. From where it launched the whole probe towards the asteroid belt. From there, the whole probe began its long, lonely journey into the farthest reaches of space. Then, after a terrifying struggle, the CzarThwomp returned safely to Earth. That struggle was when the incident known as the CzarThwomp miracle occurred, right? Correct! And it truly was a miracle. Of course, they just had to turn the ordeal into a movie, of which I starred in approximately 54% of it. I was there in all my glory. I even helped direct it. I was on the set. No, I would say. The actor portraying me, he is not muscular enough. He is not bold enough. He is not chiseled enough. So I then heroically stepped up and replaced the man. My performance was truly noteworthy. As for the whole probe, it did eventually arrive safely at its destination. It obtained a few samples from the asteroid and returned to the Earth but a few days ago. So what kinds of samples were they? What's in them? The samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time since they just came back the day before Terran's murder. Regrettably, we've had no time to inspect the samples due to everything that has occurred. But this puts our space development program ahead of other countries by several years. That's quite impressive. I guess this guy isn't just a loud-mouthed braggart after all. In the golden age of space development, our predecessors were successful in bringing a moon rock back. That is the greatest achievement in the history of the Space Center. The boy fell in love with space and all of its glorious potential, but most importantly, they fell in love with the idea of Yuri Cosmos, center of the universe, leading the charge of space development for future projects. In fact, when the HAT-2 mission eventually succeeds, I will have a statue of myself, gloriously built in gold, placed in the center of the town square. A moon rock, huh? I remember that being big. Our endeavors with the moon rock live on in our work with those asteroid samples. I want to bestow new hope and dreams for the future upon mankind once again, and I will be venerated for time immortal. This is my mission, as the man who stands at the center of the cosmos. I hear there's a lot of research into moon rocks and stardust from asteroids these days. They say the results could potentially have a huge impact on all of civilization. It's like we're in a new space race with every country out there. What, to bite your tongue? It's not for anything so base as money or politics. And to imply that it is like a race with other countries is an insult to me and my glorious genius, my magnificent mind. To say that any other space hunter is in competition with me and my Gaiaxa is like saying that a toddler could beat Usain Bolt in a race. It's all for the brilliant future that awaits mankind, and all for my illustrious mission, my golden statue in the town square. I can see it now, glistening and gleaming, children weeping tears of awe. With the recent budget cuts, my staff tells me finances are tight, but I won't hear it. I'll embezzle the funds from somewhere else. Someone has to have money, right? I guess even a space program has to watch its budgets. By the way, you seem awfully knowledgeable about this kind of thing, Athena. Huh? Oh, well, you know, I thought I better brush up for the case. Is that so? Well, I will be on my way. As you can see, I am a very busy and very important man. Galactic Scooter, fire up the main engine, max battle speed, and engage! That thing is surprisingly fast. I guess we'd better get going too. You bet! Let's make it so! Okay, on that note, I think now would be a good time to end things off. Anyways, I really appreciate that. Wait, actually, no. Before that, Let's check the badge. My guy just said I look pretty good on me, don't you think? It suits you well. I'm starting to feel like it gives me more dignity and presence too. I think she might be expecting a little too much from one tiny little badge. Okay. On that note, for real this time, I think that now would be a good time to end things off. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do as you want, and I'll see you next time. Bye.